Hunger and poverty, a global crisis. Hunger and poverty are two of the most pressing and intertwined issues in the world today. Despite advances in technology, agriculture and economic development, millions of people across the globe still face the daily challenges of insufficient food and extreme poverty. These conditions often perpetuate cycles of inequality, hinder development, and contribute to other societal issues such as poor health, education deficits, and political instability. Understanding the causes, impacts, and potential solutions to hunger and poverty is essential to addressing this global crisis. The scope of the problem: according to the United Nations, nearly 690 million people, or 8.9% of the global population, suffer from hunger. Additionally, around 9.2% of the world's population, approximately 719 million people, live in extreme poverty, defined as living on less than $2.50 per day. Hunger and poverty are more prevalent in regions like sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and parts of Latin America, although no country is immune to these issues. The COVID-19 pandemic, conflicts, and climate change have exacerbated the situation, pushing millions more into food insecurity and poverty. Food prices have skyrocketed in many regions due to disrupted supply chains, leading to further difficulties for impoverished communities already struggling to afford basic necessities. Causes of hunger and poverty. Hunger and poverty are often driven by a complex web of factors that vary from region to region. However, some common underlying causes include: 1. Economic inequality. Unequal distribution of wealth and resources is a major contributor to poverty. In many developing nations, a small elite holds much of the wealth while the majority struggle to meet basic needs. This inequality often limits access to education, healthcare, and employment opportunities. 2. Conflict and political instability. War and political conflict displace people, disrupt food production, and damage economies. Countries like Yemen, Syria, and South Sudan face protracted conflicts that have led to severe food shortages and widespread poverty. 3. Climate change. Extreme weather events like droughts, floods, and hurricanes have devastating effects on agriculture, leading to reduced crop yields and food scarcity. Poor communities who often rely on subsistence farming are especially vulnerable to these changes. 4. Lack of education and job opportunities. Education is one of the most powerful tools for breaking the cycle of poverty. However, in many impoverished regions, access to quality education is limited, particularly for girls. Without education, people are often stuck in low-paying jobs, perpetuating the cycle of poverty and hunger. 5. Healthcare access. Poor health can both contribute to and result from poverty. In areas with limited healthcare, diseases such as malaria, HIV, AIDS, and malnutrition can reduce a person's ability to work and earn an income, exacerbating both poverty and hunger. The impact of hunger and poverty. The effects of hunger and poverty are devastating, not only for individuals, but also for entire communities and nations. Some of the most profound impacts include: 1. Health consequences. Malnutrition weakens immune systems, making people more susceptible to diseases and infections. Children who suffer from malnutrition are at risk of stunted growth, developmental delays, and even death. Hunger-related health issues place additional strain on already underfunded healthcare systems. 2. Educational deficits. Hunger impairs concentration and cognitive development in children, making it harder for them to succeed in school. A lack of education perpetuates poverty, as individuals without education have fewer opportunities for well-paying jobs. 3. Social instability. High levels of poverty and hunger can fuel social unrest. Discontentment due to economic disparities often leads to protests, violence, and instability, which in turn can deter investment and development, creating a vicious cycle. 4. Economic losses. Nations where poverty and hunger are widespread face reduced productivity, lower human capital, and decreased economic growth. Addressing these issues is not only a moral imperative, but also critical to fostering global stability and economic development. Global efforts to combat hunger and poverty. International organisations, governments, and NGOs have been working for decades to combat hunger and poverty through various initiatives. Some notable efforts include: 1. Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. The United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development outlines 17 goals aimed at ending poverty and hunger, among other global challenges. SDG 1, No Poverty, and SDG 2, Zero Hunger, are central to this mission. 2. Food security programs. Organizations like the World Food Programme, WFP, and the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, provide direct food assistance and support agricultural development in impoverished areas. They also focus on creating sustainable farming practices and improving infrastructure to ensure long-term food security. 3. Microfinance and social protection. Microfinance initiatives provide small loans to people in poverty, especially women, to start businesses and become self-reliant. Social protection programs such as cash transfers and food subsidies also help alleviate the immediate impacts of poverty. Climate adaptation strategies. To address the increasing threat of climate change, many organisations are promoting climate-resilient agricultural techniques, such as drought-resistant crops and water conservation technologies, to help communities adapt and mitigate hunger. Solutions and the path forward. Ending hunger and poverty will require coordinated efforts across multiple sectors. Key actions include promoting inclusive economic growth. Governments must focus on creating inclusive economic policies that reduce inequality and provide opportunities for all citizens. Investments in education, healthcare, and job creation are essential to breaking the cycle of poverty. Empowering women and marginalised groups. Women, who make up the majority of the world's poor, must be empowered through education, access to healthcare, and financial opportunities. Similarly, policies must address the needs of marginalised groups who are disproportionately affected by poverty and hunger. Sustainable agriculture. Supporting sustainable farming practices and increasing investment in agricultural technology can improve food security and help reduce hunger. Farmers must be provided with the tools and knowledge needed to adapt to changing climate conditions. Strengthening social safety nets. Expanding access to social protection programs can help individuals and families weather economic shocks, reduce poverty, and improve food security. Conclusion. Hunger and poverty are not isolated issues. They are interconnected with other global challenges such as inequality, climate change, and conflict. Addressing these problems requires a multifaceted approach that targets the root causes while providing immediate relief to those in need. By working together on a global scale, it is possible to reduce hunger and poverty, ensuring a more just and equitable world for future generations.